Good luck.
Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün Alberta University of the Arts ile sanat ve dizayn bölümlerini Kanada'da yaşamı Johnny'den dinliyor olacağız. Lütfen sorularınızı sağ alt köşede Questions bölümünden yönlendirmeyi unutmayın. Yes, Johnny, the stage is yours now.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Zeynep. Hi, everyone. My name is Joni Taylor, as Zeynep just mentioned, and I'm going to give you a presentation all about Alberta University of the Arts. And so I'm going to turn my camera off just so that you, hopefully the bandwidth is able to support it better with my camera off, but I will turn it back on at the end of the presentation. Okay, so, well, there we go. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our campus, about who we are and our programs, how to apply academic and portfolio requirements. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to mention to you that as a community, we're very grateful. We are located in Calgary, Alberta, on the traditional land known as Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. And so in the spirit of improving my own understanding and to promote reconciliation with the Indigenous communities, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories and oral practices of Blackfoot Confederacy, the Tsuut'ina, Stoney Nakoda First Nations, and the Métis Nation Region 3, and all those who make their homes in the Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta. I am very thankful to be able to work, live, and play on these lands. So I'll tell you a little bit about our community. Originally founded in 1926, so we're almost 100 years old in another 3 years or so. We offer unique studio-based programs. We also have craft offerings, which I'll get into a little bit later. We also have a diverse and inclusive student body, and we have an AU Arts Elder Council that offers support to all our students in terms of traditional land knowledge. Our student population is about 1,300. So we're a smaller campus or smaller student body, large campus, smaller student body, which just means that you'll have a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio. All our faculty are award-winning faculty currently engaged within their own art practices. And so you'll receive an education from that perspective, from a professional working and award-winning faculty. All of our students, our staff, and our faculty are engaged or have the opportunity to be engaged in the arts community here in Calgary. There's a burgeoning arts community, lots of galleries, lots of potential to do installation art and public art, lots of opportunities to create murals and various subjects like that within the community of Calgary. We do have a robust alumni, and oftentimes our alumni come back to the campus to do public presentations for our students on how they transitioned from being a student to being a professional working artist within their own fields. And this can be incredibly informative and helpful for students to know how to become employed within their own area of interest in the arts. We have a Students Association, which is an advocacy organization, which also provides healthcare, medical, dental, even for international students. And they also do groups and clubs and a variety of things like that, and a variety of events that help the student body kind of connect. Also, Calgary is the sunniest city in Canada. We average about 333 days of sunshine per year. So that's a lot of sunshine. And we do get snow. We have all 4 seasons. So we do experience snow as well. But even in the winter, there's lots of sunshine. We do offer on-campus housing. It's a collaboration with our next door neighbor, which is Southern Alberta Institute of Technology. There are 4 different room options. They also have, so it goes from, a single occupancy up to 4 occupancy. And the prices run around 840 Canadian dollars a month up to 1,200 Canadian dollars a month. And the rooms are beautiful. They're really nice. This is an example of an example of the 4-room option. So this is 1 suite. You can see it has 4 bedrooms, 4 closets, 2 bathrooms, and a shared kitchen and living space. They also offer food programs in the housing. So you can either buy your own groceries and cook it in your own kitchen, or you can buy into the food program. Because we share the housing with SAIT, there's also art spaces specific for our students. So not just are you able to connect with other students, but also there's resident studio spaces in the housing as well. So you can work on your projects after school, on the weekends, in the evenings when if the campus is closed. And it's just nice to be able to connect to the community of artists. So let's talk a little bit about our programs now. So the first year, so if you're in grade 12 and you're thinking of applying, you would apply into first year, which is a foundation type of program. So it's more general studies. You would explore a variety of different ways of making before applying into your major, which would begin in the second year. So you would apply into either a Bachelor of Design or Bachelor of Fine Arts. We do have optional minors, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about as well. But overall, this is what your 4 years would look like. You will have 70% of your courses will be studio-based, and 30% will be liberal studies and critical theory courses. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about those courses as well. So this is kind of what your first year would look like. You'll take a couple drawing classes. You'll be able to choose from 4 different intro studio courses, take a couple art history courses, and then 2 critical studies courses. And as I mentioned, I'll tell you what those are in a minute. And then after completing your first year, then you would declare your major. And here's the majors. So within the Bachelor of Fine Arts, we offer drawing, painting, print media, sculpture, ceramics, fiber, glass, jewelry and metals, and media arts. So I don't know about in Turkey or in Eastern Europe, or even in Europe, what the proliferation of glass programming is, but we're, excuse me, we're the only glass program in all of Canada and only one of 3 in all of North America. So unfortunately, glass is a dying art form, but we are very excited about continuing the tradition. Fiber is where you actually explore sustainability in creating your own fibers and textiles using sustainable dyes and natural materials to create your own textiles. Let's see what else here. Jewelry and metals, they're all self-explanatory, the rest of them. So let's take a look at the Bachelor of Design. The 2 majors offered in our Bachelor of Design is Visual Communication Design, which offers focus on graphic design, advertising, illustration, and character design. And the photography major is fairly self-explanatory, but you do get to explore both traditional modes of photography as well as digital and contemporary modes of photography. The nice thing about all of our programs, though, that I've just shown you here is that they're all interdisciplinary. So what that means is you could be, say, an illustration major, but you can also take a glass course or ceramics, or you can take a print media or painting. You can take courses outside of your degree track, which just helps you to become a more well-rounded, broad-minded artist and designer. Okay, here's the minors. So you'll see we have animation, ceramics, comics, glass, illustration, jewelry, metals, media arts, object design and fabrication, and print media. So you'll notice that there are a few of these that are repeated in both majors and minors. So what a minor does is this. It adds an extra semester onto your program, and it will just give you the opportunity to focus solely on that one area of your minor. So you'll see that animation, comics, and object design and fabrication are offered as minors and not majors. But you are able to take animation and object design and fabrication courses outside of this minor. So most of them are all self-explanatory, but object design and fabrication would be like industrial design. So creating 3-dimensional design using computer-aided design, and that could be either furniture or product design, anything that's 3-dimensional. Okay, and here's the critical and creative studies that I mentioned. So 30% of your course load would be made up of either art history, visual culture, English literature and creative writing, humanities and cultural studies, material culture and cultural anthropology, natural sciences, and professional practices. So all of these courses are critical theory courses that are surrounded in and amongst the arts. So you'll be studying English literature in terms of art and art history. Same thing with natural sciences and material culture, cultural anthropology. It's all pertaining to the arts. Professional practices is a required course that you will take that will help you build up an understanding about the business side of art and art production. So it could be everything from brand design, web design, understanding fair practices and best practices as an independent artist, freelance artist, including things like contract building and how to, fair pay, that sort of thing. So you get not only 70% hands-on technical experience working within the studios, but you get a critical analysis of art and art production. So it's a robust academic education in the arts, and you will complete your degree understanding how to move off into your own private practice or working for a corporation or, other smaller companies. Okay, so let's talk about how to apply. There are 3 steps to apply. It's very simple. Number 1, you apply online. Number 2, you submit your documents. And number 3, you submit your portfolio and your statement of intent. So I'm going to get into more detail about the documents. However, what this would be, it would be your transcripts, so your academic transcripts, as well as English language proficiency. And I'm going to tell you more about what the scores are that we accept. Okay, so there's the 3 steps. So here's the academic requirements. This is what we're looking for. So 4 senior level courses. So depending on what programming you're in, the final year of your high school, we're looking for 4 courses. And obviously completion of that year, of your final year of high school. So the only course that we really require is some sort of English language arts with a minimum of 60%. So English language arts could be a course that you've taken on literature, or it's about academic writing, not about studying literature necessarily, but it's about academic writing. So other than that course, then we're looking for 3 additional grade 12 or senior level courses, and they could be from any of those disciplines. So the only one we don't accept is physical education. But other than that, we accept any other, so if you have language courses other than English, we'll accept those as well. Humanities, math, sciences, and visual arts. All transcripts that are issued to you in a language other than English must be accompanied by a notarized English translation. Okay, let's move on to the English language proficiency. So there's 4 ways that you can prove your English language proficiency. One would be if you have completed at least 2 years of full-time instruction in a high school where English is the language of instruction. So including a passing grade in a grade 12 English course or equivalent. I should mention that these requirements are only for students whose first language is not English. If English is your first language, it's the language that you speak at home, then you wouldn't be required to submit English language proficiency. And your transcripts would be the proof of that, your high school transcripts. TOEFL we accept with a score of 83 or higher, IELTS a score of 6.5 or higher, and Duolingo a score of 110 or higher. Now, these are the minimums. So if you go lower than that, unfortunately, your application wouldn't be successful. We do have a gateway or a pathway program. We can talk more about if you want to reach out to us. I'd be happy to explain that to you as well. Okay, let's move on to the portfolio. Now, the portfolio is the weightiest portion of the application. It's actually 70% of the score of your application is towards the portfolio. So it's really important that you build a strong portfolio. So these are the things we are looking at Alberta University of the Arts that we're looking for in a portfolio. We're looking for 12 pieces of recent work. And I say recent simply because the idea of the portfolio is for us to get to know who you are. And so basically, if your work is, 5 years old, it might not accurately represent who you are at the time of application. So that's why we're looking for recent work. We're looking for a variety of media. So it could be ceramics or drawing or film, photography, animation. It could be creative writing, a sample of your creative writing, or poetry. Could be video. If you've done any knitting or anything with fibers, whether it's clothes or fashion design, but it needs to be a fairly diverse collection. So if all you have in your portfolio is textiles, then I would encourage you to look for some other pieces that you've created and add those as well. So we're looking for at least 3 or 4 different types of work or types of media. We love to see, by the way, also in the variety category, we're also looking for a diverse range of ideas. So ideas are very important. I'm going to get more into that in the next slide. We're also looking for finished and in-process work. So we love to see sketchbooks and anything you've got in process. If you don't have time to finish it, absolutely include that. To provide in the space next to all these images that you're submitting, next to each image, there's a space to provide a description. So definitely talk about the piece, what it means to you. You could talk about the medium. You could talk about the size of it. If it has a title, you can give it a title and talk about, what the piece means to you. And the only thing that's actually really required is an observational drawing. It can be any medium. It can be still life drawing, landscape, architecture, anything, any sort of observational drawing, and any media as well. We also require a statement of intent. It's meant to be in a formal writing style of approximately 500 words. So it can't be, don't make it any more than that, but you can definitely make it a little bit less than 500 words, but around 500 words. And basically respond to this question: why do you want to come to AU Arts? What is it about the arts that interests you? What do you hope to achieve? What are your dreams about the arts? And just kind of, respond to that in like an essay. So this is the portfolio evaluation criteria, and please feel free to take a photo of this if you'd like, because this is basically what your portfolio will be evaluated on. Originality, inventiveness. So originality would be your own original characters, your own original ideas and thoughts and drawings and paintings, your own original film. So for instance, I know a lot of students will use internet images for reference, and that's great for practicing. But it's not good for submitting to an academic university art portfolio. So for instance, here's an example. If you're wanting to draw a tiger in your image, you don't have a tiger in your house to kind of draw sort of references from. Absolutely use the internet. Look up a whole bunch of, as many reference photos as you can, draw from those so that you yourself are educating yourself on the anatomy of a tiger, how the body moves, kind of the dimensions of the tiger and various poses. Then from all of that research you've done, then you're going to draw your tiger or include your tiger in the painting. Also, manga, anime, I know is a very common illustration, graphic narrative comic form of character design. However, they're valid art forms, but for your university art portfolio, you would need to submit your own original characters, not sort of appropriated from another art form. Experimentation of concepts. As I mentioned earlier, we're looking for ideas on how you, or things that are interesting to you. What makes you angry? What gives you hope? What are the things you're passionate about? It could be anything from ideas of immigration to body identity to, global warming or the proliferation of plastics in the ocean. So we're looking for strong critical thought within your portfolio. a variety of media. I mentioned manual skills are important, but not as important as your ideas. We get that you're, entering art school to learn. And so we're not looking for perfection, but we are looking to see that you've actually, you're working, so you've actually put in some work towards exploring your skill. Presentation and documentation is really important. You want to have your images clearly lit, not fuzzy, and cropped so that we just see the image itself. Okay. And then, as I mentioned, process work, your sketchbooks, and then, of course, your statement of intent. So that's basically the evaluation criteria. So let's talk quickly about careers. So in Canada, creative industries contribute 57.1 billion to the Canadian economy each year. And in Alberta alone, the arts create 22 jobs for every million. So let's put that in comparison. The oil and gas extraction is a large industry here in Alberta, but it only creates 5 jobs per million invested. So you can see that the arts create considerably, almost 4 times more jobs per $1 million invested. So these are the typical skills that you will learn with an education in the arts: analytical thinking, problem solving, creativity. These are the 3 traits that most corporations, if not all, are looking for in their new employees. So if an employer sees that you have a degree in the arts, they're going to pull your transcript forward because they'll understand that these are the traits that you'll have learned. So this increases your employability upon graduation. So quickly, I'm going to run through some of our alumni who've gone on to successful careers in the arts. This is Brittany, graduated with her BFA and is now a multidisciplinary artist exhibiting with a wide variety of media and has a very successful gallery career. Kabluziak, not only are they an exhibiting artist, but they're also a program coordinator at art galleries. They're Indigenous advisory circle coordinator, and also a guest curator at the WAG, or the Winnipeg Art Gallery Inuit Art Center. So their work is very provocative and self-reflexive, and they've exhibited internationally and throughout Canada. So those 2 examples are decidedly academic art careers in terms of curatorial gallery studies. Jillian Tamaki graduated with her BDes, and some of you may recognize Jillian's work. She's a graphic novelist, freelance illustrator, has created over 10 children's books and a variety of graphic novels. These are some of her most well-known. She's award-winning. She's also teaching in New York at the School of Visual Arts as well as Parsons, and has a very diverse and successful career as a freelance illustrator. And this is Michaela. Michaela graduated with her BFA and is also an illustrator. This is a page from her children's book. You can see, I hope you can see the nuance in this. It's all collaged, so made up with a variety of different papers and collaged. Even the text is collaged. But she's a very successful, again, freelance illustrator working for a variety of publications and award-winning, as well as creating her own work, as this book is. So we do offer career services. It's important to us that you, upon graduation, you are successfully able to move on into your career in the arts. And so we offer career coaching, interview preparation, resume writing. We also have a network that we have with industry-leading alumni and professionals from across the world. And you're able to connect with a mentoring and networking platform through our career support. So is it possible to have a career in the arts? Absolutely, yes. These are some of the jobs, titles, and positions that our students have moved on to upon graduation. Everything from designers, art therapists, educators, architects, animators, fashion designers, and exhibiting artists, and on down the line it goes, including all around nice people. Okay, so how to apply? Applications is the same every year. Applications open October 1st, and they close February 1st. So if you're in a grade, if you're planning on applying for another year, it's always the same every year. October 1st, they open, February 1st, they close. We do offer a lot of application support. Here's our email address, myfuture@auarts.ca. So we have online portfolio workshops, one-on-one portfolio reviews, and we also have portfolio reviews, a review day. The online one is this Saturday, but it's full, unfortunately. So we do have an on-campus review day. So you can always take a trip to Calgary. We'd love to show you around our campus. Here's a QR code that works. So you can take a photo of this QR code here, and this will take you to all these different ways that you can register for various online events to get your portfolio reviewed, or to talk to one of us about your application. Okay, so please keep in touch. Here's the various ways that you can keep in touch. Please take a picture of this because the third one down is our YouTube channel, and there's some really great videos. I didn't have time today to show you a video, but there's some really great videos, including a campus tour, lectures from faculty, and a variety of other different ways you can get to know us a little bit better. So that's my presentation. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to undo my camera. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to. Oh, I see there's a whole bunch in the chat. Let me kind of look through this. Hello. Okay, let's see. Hi, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me. Let's see. Okay, in the questions box. So there's a bunch of questions there. Let me just click on this. Whoop, there we go. Okay, do you offer job services? Yes. Yes, for international students as well. And I did explain a little bit of that. Can you explain how to get accepted a graduate course in applied linguistics? Unfortunately, we don't offer applied linguistics at Alberta University of the Arts. We do have a graduate course. It's a master's in fine arts, but we don't offer applied linguistics. Yes, you're able to work when studying. Absolutely. The Canadian government loves international students. We welcome you to come to Canada to study and work. And yes, you can work up to 30 hours per week. I don't recommend that because that's a heavy workload, but you can absolutely do that. You're also eligible, once you complete your 4-year degree, you're eligible to apply to the Canadian government to extend your work permit for another 3 years upon graduation. What's the monthly expenses? Okay, so international tuition is 70,000 Canadian dollars for full 4 years. So it works out to be about 8,000 per semester. And I'm sorry, I don't have the translations. That would have been smart for me to have done that. So you can translate that 70,000 Canadian dollars for all 4 years. Housing, I think I told you the prices of housing as well. So it runs from 850 roughly to about 1,200 per month. And that's Canadian as well. Regarding providing job for internationals. Yes, okay, I did speak on that. Mentioned about the animation minor tuition fees. Same, the animation minor, so it would work to be about a semester. So that's about $8,000 for a semester. Do we have to own a portfolio? Yes. I did explain about the portfolio, and that's a really important component. Prep class in Turkey is enough to skip this part. I don't know what a prep class is in Turkey, but please do reach out to us at MyFuture, the email there, myfuture@auarts.ca, and maybe you can provide the documents from your prep class, and then we can take a look at that and see what that, perhaps it will give you some transfer credit. Graduate courses. How can we shine or show, probably you meant, our CV or portfolio? Same thing, the same way as you apply for an undergraduate, you would apply for a graduate course. And then the graduate studies officers will be in touch with you. You'll probably do an online interview, but the requirements are a little bit different. So what you could do is you could go graduate at auarts.ca. There we go. So that's the email address. Did it go in? Oh, there we go. There you go. So that's the email address for the graduate studies. If I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't do a lot of questions for our graduate studies. However, having said that, you can also connect with us through myfuture@auarts.ca. And then we can forward it to the grad studies office, and then they will get back to you. And it's better for you to speak with them one-on-one. Okay, thanks for all your questions. These are great questions, and I hope I answered everything well. Oh, good. I love these thumbs up. Ooh, and even party hats. That's really nice. Thank you for that. Okay. And unfortunately, my time is up. So I really appreciate you all coming. Please do connect with us at any of these sort of methods here. All right.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentation, Johnny. It was very informative for the attendees, and you covered all of the questions. Thank you for your answers too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And also I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Umarım sizin için de faydalı bir webinar olmuştur. Alberta University of the Arts ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için ekranda görmüş olduğunuz mail adresinden Johnny'ye ulaşabilirsiniz. Bir sonraki webinarımızda görüşmek üzere. Thank you very much again, Johnny. It was a pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye now.
Take care. Bye-bye.